topic is current electricity. So very important topic. Try to understand very carefully. So first one is current. What is the current? Already you have done in 9th standard earlier class. Rate of flow of charge is called current. So in this way, what is the formula for current? Current is equal to charge upon time. Rate for time, charge as it is. So symbol of current is I, charge symbol Q, time symbol T. So what is the unit of the current? That is, you know, 1 ampere, charge unit coulomb, time unit second. So how we can define this 1 ampere? If 1 coulomb charge flowing in 1 second, we will say 1 ampere current flow in the circuit. Another unit, milliampere and microampere. So relation with the SI unit, milliampere is equal to 10 raised to power minus 3 ampere. Microampere is equal to 10 raised to power minus 6 ampere. Next one more formula, I is equal to Q upon T, that you have already done. But if in the circuit, number of electrons is equal to N and charge on one electron is E, so total charge will be Ne. So instead of Q, I will write down Ne upon T. So this formula I use, suppose you want to find out the number of electrons flowing in the circuit, or electron charge on electron, or current flowing in the circuit, like this. Out of this 1, 2, 3, 4 variables, 3 is given and 1 is required. Next topic is potential difference. So what is the potential difference? So if there are two bodies A and B, one is positive, other is negative. Connected two bodies, we will see that electron will flow from negative to positive and current will flow from positive to negative. So in this way, we will consider potential difference is one condition which will determine the direction of flow of current. This is the very simple definition. So in that definition, we will consider negative as a high potential, low potential, and positive as a high potential. And we know electron always flow from low potential to high potential, and current always flow from high potential to low potential. Now one more definition which is used frequently for this, and more accurately we can define this potential difference in the form of work done. So I can easily say that negative charge move from B to A and positive charge move from A to B, or current will flow from A to B. But it's not an easy task. For that we have to do some work. So that amount of work done we will consider in the form of potential difference. So this is the amount of work done per unit charge in moving a positive test charge from one point to the another point. So here in my definition, in my example, A is 1 point, B is the second point. So here if one positive charge move from A to B, for that some work has to be done. So that amount of work done we will consider in the form of potential difference. So in this way, potential difference formula, work done upon charge. So this is the amount of work done to bring one test charge. So two terms are used here. So in this way, potential difference we will define in the form of work done upon charge. Work done symbol W and charge symbol Q. Potential difference symbol V. So SI unit of potential difference is volt. How we can define 1 volt with the help of this formula? 1 volt we will define if 1 joule work is to be done per unit charge in moving a positive unit 1 coulomb charge from one point to the another point. That means work done we consider 1 joule, and charge we will consider 1 coulomb. In that case we will say potential difference across the end of the conductor is 1 volt. So that instrument used to measure the potential difference in the circuit, that is the voltmeter, and that instrument used to measure the current in the circuit, that is a meter. Remember that a meter always connected in series in the circuit, whereas voltmeter always connected parallel in the circuit. Third term is resistance. So try to understand this resistance. If I am just consider this iron scale, what is the situation inside this scale? If I will consider at present this scale, so this scale consider, you know, protons, electrons and neutrons. Each and every atom contains 3 components: protons, electrons and neutrons. I ignore the neutrons because neutron has no charge. I just consider 2 charged particles, protons and electrons. So I just consider when this freely kept this iron piece, inside this electrons moving in any direction, freely moving, not in one particular direction. But when I will connect one cell across these two ends, what is the situation in that case? Now B will suppose this is B side, this is A side. I connect one cell here. B is negative and A is positive. So B acquire low potential and A acquire the high potential. That is the main function of this cell, because negative terminals I connect with the B and positive terminal connect with the A. What is the result of this? Now electron get one particular direction to move. Now all electron will move from B to A, and on the average of that, current will flow from A to B, this current direction. As I already told you, firstly electron move, on the average of that, current will move in the flow in the opposite direction. Again come back to the same the given example. Suppose 7 electrons will move from B to A, but path is not so smooth. What happened there? These electrons will strike with other positrons or other electrons. What is the effect of that? Its speed will be less. So for example, if 7 electrons will reach successfully from B to A in 1 second, then I will say how much current will flow? 7 ampere. But when their 7 electrons will start the journey from B to A, they will moving from B to A. During that on the way, what happened there is a number of collisions with that electrons with other electrons as well as the positron. What is the result? Their velocity will be decreased. One time strike with the other, its velocity decrease. Second time again further from the due to this negative potential, that will be again pushed at the back and again they will move. So that velocity is called drift velocity. So due to this drift velocity, only suppose 5 electron will reach at A. So we will get only 5 ampere current. But what is our requirement? 7 ampere. What is the loss? 2 ampere. So this 2 ampere loss is called resistance. So in short, what is the resistance? The obstruction in the path of current is called resistance. So resistance symbol is R, and its unit is ohm. Symbol is omega. I have written here as a unit ohm. So now it depends upon 4 factors. First, length of the conductor. Second, area of cross section of the conductor. Third, temperature of conductor. Fourth, material of conductor. Now see, come back to the same diagram. If I will increase the length of the conductor, what will happen there? Path will long, more collisions, more obstruction. As a result, resistance increase. So with the length, resistance directly proportional. If I will increase the area, now space will be brought. Less number of collisions, resistance decrease. Resistance inversely proportional. Third, temperature. When temperature increase, velocity of the electrons will increase. As a result, they will collide more strongly like this. If anything will strike more strongly, that means there are more chances to destroy that. In the same way, resistance will increase because less number of electrons will reach to the end A. Third is material. Good conductors offers less resistance. जितना अच्छा कंडक्टर होगा उतनी कम रेजिस्टेंस होगी. फॉर एग्जांपल metals is a good conductor, so it has less resistance because it has free number of electrons more. Now come to the topic Ohm's law. So we have done 3 terms: potential difference, current and resistance. I will combine all these 3 terms under the heading Ohm's law. According to the Ohm's law, V is directly proportional to I. Means in the circuit, if current will increase, potential difference will also increase. As usual, you have seen in the stabilizer. In stabilizer, there are 2 boxes. One is for A, other for V. A for ammeter, V for voltmeter. If you keenly observe that reading, if your current means ammeter reading will increase, potential difference means voltmeter reading will also increase. That is the Ohm's law. So remove this proportionality sign, change into equal to sign. I will use one constant, that is called R, resistance of the circuit or resistance of the appliance which is connected in the circuit. In this way, R is equal to V upon I. Earlier you have done resistance, unit you have done ohm, but I didn't explain the definition of ohm. So I will define ohm on the basis of the Ohm's law. If I will consider this formula, R will be equal to 1 ohm, voltage will be 1 volt, current will be 1 ampere. Obviously, if potential difference across the circuit is 1 volt and 1 ampere current flowing in the circuit, then resistance of the appliance will be 1 ohm. So according to the Ohm's law, V is directly proportional to I. Now I will explain on the basis of graphical representation. If we will draw the graph V versus I, it will be a straight line. Because as this is the proportional relation, so that it will be a straight line. So what is the use of this? With the help of this straight line graph, we can find out the resistance. See here how. Firstly, I will draw one slope PQR. So PQ upon RQ. That will be the slope. That will give the value of R. How? Very simple. PQ will give the value of V. QR will give the value of I. You know V upon I is equal to R. So in this way, slope will give the value of R. But that I explain V versus I. By chance, graph I versus V. Again, that will be straight line, no doubt. But how we can find out the distance? We have to reverse the slope. Because now this perpendicular will give the value of I and base will give the value of V. But formula is V upon I, not I upon V. So that's why here we will reverse the slope. Remember this, in IV graph, reverse the slope to find out the resistance. Next is type of resistors. So there are basically three types: ohmic resistor, non-ohmic resistor, superconductor. Ohmic resistor, which obeys the Ohm's law, that is called ohmic resistor. Graph will be a straight line and all metals are a ohmic resistor. Non-ohmic, which does not obey the Ohm's law, graph will be a curve. If you will draw V versus I, its graph will be a curve, not a straight line. That is non-ohmic resistor. So all diodes, triodes are non-ohmic resistor. Superconductor, as it's clear from its name, which one is a conductor is a super one, naturally whose resistance will be less. So if you have seen that factor affecting resistance, that depends upon the temperature. I will pick this factor. So if temperature increase, resistance increase. Reverse of this is also true. If temperature decrease, resistance will also decrease. So same concept applying here, superconductor. We will decrease the temperature of the conductor up to that level. In that case, resistance will be 0. So superconductor is that conductor in which resistance will be 0 at one particular temperature. For example, here are given 3 examples: mercury, lead and niobium. But you have to mention the temperature also. Mercury below 4.2 Kelvin work as a superconductor. Lead below 7.25 Kelvin work as a superconductor, and niobium below 9.2 Kelvin. So you have to mention this temperature also. Next topic is resistivity. So to explain the resistivity, I will take the two factors of resistance. First is the length, second is the area. Length directly proportional, area inversely proportional. I combine this. R directly proportional to L upon A. Remove this proportionality sign, change into equal to sign. I will use here one constant. That constant is resistivity or specific resistance, rho. From this I will find out the formula for rho. Rho is equal to R into A upon L. Now I will define the rho on the basis of this formula. If I will consider area 1, length 1, obviously rho will be equal to R. So that is the definition of resistivity. Resistivity is equal to resistance of the conductor in unit area of cross section and in unit length. So if I will explain the unit of resistivity, again I will pick this formula. Resistance in ohm, area in meter square, length is in meter. Struck off this square with m, so net answer ohm meter. So what is the unit of the resistivity? Ohm meter. Factor affecting resistivity. There are two factors. One is the material, other is the temperature. But directly we can't explain. I will categorize the material in 3 categories: metal, semiconductor and insulator. As concerned to metal, very low specific resistance. Semiconductor in between, insulator very high. You can mention the value also. Next is temperature of the material. Again I will categorize the material in 3 categories: metal, semiconductor and alloy. As concerned to metal, resistivity is directly proportional to temperature. Means temperature increase, resistivity will also increase. Semiconductor inversely proportional. Temperature increase, resistivity decrease. Alloy no effect. Sometime ask question, name an element which whose resistivity does not change by increasing the temperature. So you can mention any alloy, constant, and or magnet. Conductivity, sigma symbol. Reciprocal of resistivity is called conductivity. So last topic, there is choice of the material of different type of wires. So first, connecting wires. Question required, what type of material is used for connecting wire and give the reason. So as concerned to connecting wire, we are using copper and aluminium. What is the reason? Because it is a good conductor and specific resistance is very low. Second, what is the material required for specific resistor? That is constant time and magnet, that is the alloy, because its specific resistance is very high. Third is fuse wire. Which type of material is used? Alloy of lead and tin. Reason is because it is high resistance and low melting point. Fourth is filament of bulb. Material tungsten. Reason because it is high melting point. Fifth, heating element of appliance. So material required nichrome because its specific resistance is very high. This is all about my topic. Hope you easily understand each and everything. Thank you. Thanks a lot. If you really like my video, please like and especially comment in the comment box.